So we are talking about
Yeah, but I mean, yes, at some point I was sure that it was a Bible on these positions, but then when I had some, I started to look it up, and it turned out that some of them are still not there. So it is not as complete and as you would think it is, but it's still a great book, obviously.
Sure.
But then again, the one of the 100 endgames is a lot more light and has a lot of the essential positions too. So these are nice books. These are the books on the endgames in terms of theoretical endgames.
Right.
And in terms of playing practical endgames, well, I actually enjoyed, a book of, I think Tibor Karoli wrote a book about Karpov or something like this. There were a lot of endgames.
Some guy was saying this here in the chat that Sumit Panta, he is asking that there is a story you remembered about Karpov 300 games in a week. Is this the one you are talking about right now?
300 games in a week? What's that?
No, Karpov 300 games. Something. There is a story he remembered. Karpov 300 games in a week. Does that ring some bell?
I don't know that.
Okay. Fine,
no,
fine.
no.
Yeah, this Tibor Karoli book, it's very good endgame play. Also, there is a Sherevsky book,
Sherevsky, yes. I think the Rukan games, right? Or no, 600 Rukan games, something like this.
No, that was Sherevsky. I think this endgame strategy. I don't have this one.
Okay, yeah.
It's endgame strategy.
Yeah, no, I mean there are many good books. Honestly, again, when it comes to general books, for example, the Kasparov books, honestly, they are just the concept is absolutely brilliant, and the written parts are fantastic. But I think the book would only gain if, instead of it being like attempts to prove a scientific point with all the proofs, which are variations, it would just be much more light, because even for me, it's impossible to follow all the lines blindfold at some point.
Sure. It's like, oh, by the way, like I was recently going through all these Kasparov books, starting from the second volume which you mentioned, and even when it comes to, let's say, volume of this Karpov and Korchnoi, when you check with newer engines, there are so many blunders. There are so many wrong analysis.
In a way, there is no need to expose yourself to that. By making so many concrete variations and going so deep, you expose yourself to potential mistakes.
Exactly.
I think as a writer, you can try to be so superficial and ambiguous that you will never be proven wrong. If you say that, and I believe the black should be fine here, and it turns out he's not, then okay, you say I just believed, and whatever.
Right. I will just.
But if you,
yeah. No, I was saying that we should probably just quickly tell the audience that why this position is so famous. So this has been analyzed for years, and the guy Steckner found this particular idea that after. The basic concept is if white plays a7, black will tuck his king on g7, and then it's basically never winning. Why I cannot make the moves? Sorry. Yeah.
Because you made the move with white already.
Yeah. So here just king somewhere, and whenever this rook is kind of fixed, and whenever king will go to b6, then black will start checking. So the winning plan here is apparently king d3, black takes, rook should always go to c file. It's more or less a thumb rule. I mean, there are few exceptions, but in general it should go to c file. Check. Rook a to rook c6 check. And it is, I think this is the move that Steckner came up with, king c4. This is known as
king g4, king b3, I think.
King g4. The idea is king b3, and then it's a
pattern. As everybody knows.
Yeah, and
but this position never occurs
exactly
in the real game.
Exactly,
king is always on g2. Rook is always on a3.
Exactly so. I think this Rustam also told me this, that there is no practical value, because in a game probably you will get this position.
This happens always like this.
Yeah. You get like this, and then you get completely stuck, and it's just a draw.
Yeah.
What I felt is useful to know is like, let's say if black plays this, then it is very useful to know that okay, then you can play a7, because black cannot play g5, and then somehow you you hide your king somewhere, yeah, like you go to h6. This is the plan. So there is just no way. There's just no way black can stop. Like this king will eventually come, and it will hide itself on h6, and then finally rook b8, rook b5 will win. I thought this is quite practical thing to know. Like sometimes if this happens, but yeah, other than that.
Well, for example, one time I had an endgame like this, and I had the pawn with black on f5 and on h7 instead.
Pawn on, sorry, where?
And there is like the h pawn was on h7, and the f6 pawn was on f5.
Ah, okay.
And that changes, and it was a c pawn, I think, that white had.
Right.
But it also changes a bunch of things. Like it becomes awful for black suddenly because of all the weaknesses.
Yeah. And the pawn,
So,
this pawn, whenever it is closure, it's better for white because then king comes back faster.
Yes, and I also had some lessons with Carsten Müller. Carsten Müller has also a bunch of theoretical. When it comes to theoretical books, Carsten Müller has many good theoretical books, theoretical endgames.
Right.
But yeah, there are really many. And I mean, as I said, this Garry Kasparov are a must have, a must read, and so on. But again, I'm yet to find a perfect book in a sense, because, for example, Jan Timman written fantastic books too. He's written one recently that I really love about Kasparov-Karpov match in a way annotated exactly how I want it to be, that I can follow all the variations
exactly
without having to. But then there sometimes are mistakes because it's not properly checked with the engine or something like this. So it's but in general, yes, many good books, and as you already said many times, whatever chess material you consume, it will be very good for you. So I think just choose the topic you like and enjoy yourself.
Sure, and also I actually like this Gelfand book very much. Positional decision making.
Oh yeah,
that's a fantastic book.
Positional, yes, but my favorite book, one of my favorite books, is Gelfand's attacking.
The dynamic chess. Yeah, that's also fascinating.
I found it even more fascinating than the positional one.
Yeah. It's all right. I've selected some games of yours. I am not going to even show you who are the players. Do you remember this game?
Yes, I know, because I've also seen it many times afterwards. Yeah. Against Dan Brandenburg, right?
Yeah. So probably every chess player has got this habit. Yeah, they revisit their some of their games.
No, I don't revisit it. I don't revisit myself, but I see it pop up in Instagram every now and then that some kind of fan account would post it.
Right.
I don't know.
Okay. So yeah, this was played in 2009, and can you explain a little bit from here? How did you finish?
Well, I mean, at that point in time, all of my games went like this, exactly like this, and I would always go g6, and I would always win. So that's was a normal thing.
Typical. This was very typical. Yeah.
Yeah, I was. I think I was very surprised he allowed this. I think after g6, I would guess I was probably expecting bishop f6 immediately. I guess, I don't know, instead of hg.
Yes. This is also very typical.
Maybe that's what I would expect. But then maybe gf check. Yeah. No, if Kuno maybe rook d6.
Rook b6. Yeah, it's not easy. Yeah, it's not easy.
No, it's not easy. But I think that even king f7, I don't know. Yeah, possible. Yeah. But basically, the even king h8 is to be considered.
Sure.
Briefly.
Sure.
With the idea bishop c3.
Yeah.
But basically, I think after g6, I didn't expect hg, and h5 I didn't expect bishop f6 because then the h file is just made.
And then this is very typical.
Yeah, no, it's a basic.
Yeah, sure.
Technically.
I selected some of your games from 2009. This is against Hillop Person Tiger. Back in 2010, you played. And again, this kind of domination I really enjoy. So even from your relatively younger days games, you had this kind of control domination, which is like fascinating. Like
I was already 2640 at this point, I see. So I mean, it doesn't come as a huge shock that I see that knight f4 is strong. Yeah, because it kills both the bishops and everything.
Yeah, no, the thing is, okay, it's not about knight f4, but also now, like this one I thought is very classy.
Yeah. No, but his position is so lost. I mean, at this point.
Yeah.
his queen is dominated and his bishop on b2 is dead. Yeah, no, this is very nice.
And
Sure.
then, I mean, we don't get to see. I mean, okay, he is also a grandmaster, right? And then we don't get to see such games very often, like such kind of domination.
Yeah, it was a very enjoyable game to play. That's for sure. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this was awesome. Recollection of this one?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So
it's a very famous game.
It's a very famous game. So you were initially winning, I suppose, and then again at some point here it was losing, and then he blundered.
Yeah, it was close. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's still he's doing fine. Probably here the simplest was to take, right?
I would think so.
I mean, this should be winning, I believe.
There's a lot of pieces. It should be, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's clear that he saw queen g3, but he blundered this check. I don't know if it should be winning even now also, right? If it takes here.
I would think so. Rook f4 and then queen
f1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For example, yeah.
Yeah. By the way,
yeah, he just blundered knight 1, but it was there was a moment before that where I was doing very well, I think, with black.
Yeah.
So it was in a way a complicated game. It was going back and forth, but then in the end I was very lucky. It was very important for me because I won. If I had lost this game, it would have been a lot harder because he would either catch me or come close.
Mm-hmm.
And after I won this game, I was doing very well in the big group. So I'm
so this is the position from Magnus Carlsen against Anish Giri from 2011. This was the first time when they met. First time when they played against each other.
When we played, yeah? I think we met before. You know how the couples also say, like, no, we married on that day, but we dated for a few years, all that. So, but we met before, but this is where we personally played, yeah.
Right. And how old were you?
I'm 16, I guess. Yeah, 16.
Okay. But this was this your first vacancy A group, or you played before also? Sorry, I don't remember this actually.
I think it's the first one. Yeah.
This is the first one, right? Okay.
Yeah.
The first one. Okay. So c6, a3 takes. Yeah, you guys can later simply Google the game, or maybe it actually ended here. Yeah, it ended here. Okay.
It ended here actually.
Yeah. Black is just a piece of, right. Talking about Magnus game, yeah. Also recently you bet him, yeah. In this online.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of funny that these days they want to make the online rapid games look very important, and because that's the only thing you get to play.
Mm-hmm.
But it still remains an online rapid game in a way, doesn't it?
This is actually one of my favorite. This is relatively recent, very recent actually, 2019.
Yeah, it was a great game, but there was just a small glitch. I thought it was a great game from start to finish.
Mm-hmm.
And then I discovered that he had queen b4 on move 20.
Okay, but that was a huge blow. Okay, but this is very computerized. Come on. I mean.
Yeah, but it's a huge blow. Suppose you play it, the whole game would change completely.
Right.
But in a way, I didn't have a like, if I would have done something else, it wouldn't have been this crushing either. So it's hard to say if I played badly or okay practically.
Right.
Because for example, if I wouldn't go for this bishop b2 move and knight h4, then position would be a lot less dangerous for him.
Sure.
So in some way, in hindsight, I gambled and it quite paid off, but I didn't really gamble. I just didn't notice queen before.
Okay, we'll go through the game, guys. Here, Anish is white. This happened in European championship. or no, team championship, right? European team championship against David Anton Guijaro, 2019.
Mhm.
So this is a very topical line, by the way. All this has been played number of times, and yeah, Anish had a very interesting idea here, and this was his new idea. The point is, okay, he first wants to get his rook out, then he kind of.
You know the funny thing, Surya, about this?
Mhm.
I played a much more clean game recently with this exact thing on my stream.
Okay.
And I uploaded a YouTube video of that. It's called some Italian masterclass something.
Okay.
And it's actually even a nicer game in a way.
Seriously, what is it
Yeah.
called? What is it called? Let me
You can look up on my yeah, Anish Giri Italian masterclass and something like this. Improvised Italian masterclass. You see there? Yeah, this one.
All right. Can somebody post this? Can one of my moderators just post this? I'm unable to post it. No, maybe I can do it. Hang on. Wait, I'll do this here. Here, and then I go to streaming and I post it here. All right, guys. So once we go through the game that we are currently going through, his game against Anton Guijaro, then you can later check his stream where he speaks about Italian.
Yeah, strangely, like it was a 3-minute game and stuff, but it was even more clean than this classical game.
Right, right. Although Anish, you keep saying this is not very clean, but in my opinion, you know, from a let's say correspondence chess or from a computer point of view, it's not very clean, maybe. But from a practical point of view, I would consider this is a very clean game.
Yeah, I think it's good enough to go into the learning unlearning section.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, as we have discussed, I have not shown any of your winning games in my solo shows, but everything, all the classic I kept for our this session.
Okay, nice.
So that was the idea. All right. B3, bishop a7, bishop b2. So somehow this was kind of very nice organization of his forces.
Yeah.
Yeah. And knight h4, and now the pawn is coming somehow.
Yeah, also that's one thing, but mainly queen h5, rook g3 is also coming. That was the other thing.
Yeah, sure. Actually, that's even more deadly.
I think it's even more, than
f4. That's definitely even more deadly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and here he had this incredible resource to go queen b4.
Yeah. So the thing is, like, all his pieces are very far away from his king. So it's kind of.
But I played this game a little bit in style of Levon Aronian. You know, I played it all so fast and so confident that he felt at this point. I think he felt a little bit uncomfortable psychologically as well. Like he didn't believe that there was going to be a chance. Like that.
Yeah, but the defense is also spectacular. Queen b4 is a very nice defense. It's a multi-purpose move. First of all, it ties down white's queen so that white cannot play queen h5. And second thing, more importantly, so now in order to get the queen, you have to chase. In order to play queen h5, you have to play bishop c3, and then the queen gets into defense. So this is a beautiful maneuver.
Yeah, and it brings the queen back. Yeah.
And look, now suddenly this knight is attacked, and when queen h5 comes, black is exactly on time to play queen g5. But that's what I mean. Such moves are not very easy to get over the board. Of course, with computer, you just click one button and then it immediately shows that black is
but you know,
fine.
the funny thing is, like, let's say if not for this move, it's like, I don't know, let's say it's +2 or something, it's winning. But if after queen b4, it's like -0-10. So it's like a completely different world. Suddenly it's completely equal, and even black is on the more comfortable side, actually.
Yeah, I will just quickly turn on the engine and.
Okay, it's very weak.
It's a very weak engine, so it doesn't understand. It says c5 is good, but yeah, it's a local engine. It does not understand. So with a strong engine, we will immediately know that queen b4 was the only move. Let's c5, and the finishing of the game, it felt a lot like some of the classics of Kasparov, especially the one that I remember is in Queen's Indian. I forgot who was
No,
playing.
but seriously, the surprisingly, that game that I played on stream is it's kind of more impressive than this in a way. It's kind of funny.
Okay.
Like here, the sack is obvious because everything is right there. On my stream game, I sacrificed before I brought the stuff, and then I brought the stuff. It was kind of kind of funny. Yeah, but now this is I mean, here it's quite clear. Black pieces, bishop a7, queen a6 on the queen side, and I have all my pieces on the king side.
No, this is the finishing is amazing. Now that we are talking,
Surya, I think Grandmaster Abhijit here is spamming in the chat.
What he's saying?
He says local engine OP.
Yeah. We should block him, but we cannot block the moderators. Yeah.
Oh, okay, fine.
Oh, by the way, I had selected some games, but suddenly now I am just remembering one particular game by seeing this game. Let me see if I can find this where I literally copied you move to move.
Yeah, Italian against bishop. Did you prepare that?
I don't even remember what was the move order exactly, so I'll have hard time. But I believe
bishop on b3. Right? Yeah, a6. It was a6, bishop a7.
Okay, hang on. I should get it here. I'll try to find this. Hang on.
But you might not find it like this, yeah, because of the move order.
Okay, so tell me how should I go?
Go a6, let's say, rook e1, bishop a7.
Yeah, guys, I'm
h3, h6.
Guys, I'm perfectly aware that you are not seeing the board, but that's because I'm trying to find
the position. Knight d2, rook e8. Knight f1, bishop e6, bishop c2,
yeah,
d5. I think that this is how you find.
Yeah. Now I'll get this. So I know you guys are unable to see the board, but that's because I'm trying to find a particular position.
Okay, wait. Go d5. Was it queen d5 or bishop d5?
Okay. Wait a second. I got your game, so that should be helpful.
Bishop d5, I think.
Yes, knight g3. And I got.
Yeah, now you are there.
But that's not the
game. But not this one.
Not this one. Okay.
Okay, but play queen d7, knight h4.
Yeah.
Now you're there with colors. Yeah.
Now I'm there. Okay. So.
But was it your preparation or not?
No. So I just want to share this with audience. So first I'll put in OBS before they say board is not visible. I had only one preparation, that is I had your game. I just knew that you played this in Blitz. It probably does not work, but my opponent was thinking, and I just remember your game with Vichy. But your game with Vichy was Blitz, right?
Okay, but you were not preparing it like seriously, right? I hope.
No. I knew it even does not work. I even knew it
because I just played it all over the board. I mean, I didn't know any of this stuff at that point.
Seriously?
Yeah, I mean, I just put, okay, bishop b3, bishop c2, I know you can play, like in Blitz, I play sometimes like this. Then I put the knight g3, then, okay, I started to think, I put knight on h4 and knight to f5, then I was thinking what to do, then I played this d4, knight g7. Yeah. It was all completely improvised. And then later it was, it was made into a book, Slow Italian it's called, by Carsten Müller and a friend of his. And they sort of build a repertoire around this try,
Around your Blitz game, yeah?
Yeah, which was completely improvised. I mean, it's surprising.
Right. So I was playing in Gibraltar. I was playing some 2400, and I got into this position, and I suddenly remembered, wow, I had seen a game by Anish against Vichy, and it goes like knight g7. Anand takes, and if I remember correctly, d3 is the best move here. But the game was bishop king takes g7, bishop h6 check. The point is, cannot take.
No, sorry. I think I think it was all right what he did. King g7 also okay. I think after queen d2, rook g8, queen f4. I think here he can still no. Queen d6 is losing.
Okay, let's say so. Queen d6 is losing because of this.
Knight h7 maybe knight h7.
So if I play queen h4 now, you'll play f6. Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah, I think I should take on h7 and play queen h4. I would guess. Maybe rook g6 or something.
Okay.
Bishop g5, maybe king g8. Yeah. Anyway, knight h5, queen this. No, I don't remember. Honestly, I don't remember. Knight h5, maybe queen f5 or something. I don't remember. But the point was that he had some defense here as well.
Yeah. No, I also.
Queen d6 was losing.
Yeah. Okay, Abhijit Gupta is saying d3 is the best move.
Yeah,
but,
d3 was one of the things, but I believe until queen d6 he was still not losing.
Yeah. That's true. And in my game, my opponent played king g7, which is worse. And I knew this theme that bishop
but
h6.
That is bad.
That is really bad.
That is bad, right?
Yeah, that is really bad, because the thing is now I take I get the file also. So I simply got a free point just because I knew a game. And the difference is like now my rook is on e1.
Yes, this idea of knight g7, king g7, bishop h6, king h6, queen d2, queen g5.
Come again.
The original idea of bishop h6, queen d2, queen g5, that is kind of thematic, yeah?
Right. This we also see in Caro-Kann number of times.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Right, okay. So let's, and your game with, what is this? Yeah, we were seeing this, your game with Anton, and yeah, this is like somewhat like Kasparov's games. Like this finish, I really like.
Well, as I told you yesterday already, I think every grandmaster or decent player has a few of such games. I mean, you don't otherwise become a good player if you don't know. Sometimes you have to take on h6 with the bishop. I mean, it's basic.
Absolutely.
For a high-level player. So I don't think it's something special about me or about Kasparov had more of such games because of his opening repertoire, and mostly, I would love to have such games every time.
Mm-hmm.
But nowadays you play the Berlin defense. Okay, you can try to go bishop g5,
mm-hmm.
but there are if the opponent knows that it is hard, so it is sort of, or even in the Najdorf you can try to play such games, but there is a lot of theory, so it is quite hard to play such games on demand. And I would really like to see how Kasparov would these days play as many sharp games as he played back then. I mean, already we saw his struggle in some rapid tournament that he played. Everybody was playing against him bishop b5 check in the Sicilian.
Right.
So Najdorf quickly was done. So he moved to Sveshnikov. But Sveshnikov, we can also play a few lines. I mean, the way theory has developed and the overview and the average opening intelligence has gone up so much that it's become much harder to play only sharp chess.
Absolutely. Anish, I think that
because of the limitations.
I also think that all these great players, they were simply ahead of their time. Like even now, if let's say Fischer would come, it's very difficult to compare that way, right? Fischer was simply ahead of his time. Kasparov was ahead of his time. I think that's the way it goes.
Exactly.
That's the way it goes.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, so like you cannot compare right now a player to Kasparov and say that, well, look, Kasparov did this, but yeah, well, Kasparov it was a different era. Yeah, nobody knew back then. If you would give bishop b5 check in the Najdorf, he would give an interview, bully you, and then you would never be invited to a tournament again. He would say that this guy is a chicken, he plays for a draw, he should never play again in the super tournaments, and nobody would invite him anymore. And nowadays, world champion does bishop b5 check, and everybody says, look at this, he takes people out of the opening and he's a mastermind. So it's all, it's changed a lot, yeah, for sure. But definitely, I mean, his games are inspiration when it comes to attacking chess. So many great examples. Yeah.
Sure. Before we move to this particular game, I have got a question from Sarvanan. He's saying that in your teens, you seemed like more of a dynamic player. How did you change your style to more, technical, and why this happened? How this happened and why this happened? This is actually true. When I was going through your young games, I also felt it is more aggressive. Not that you don't play dynamic, you still play dynamic, but it is more on a technical side.
Well, first of all, opponent's level is one of the main reasons, the opponent's level. I think one of the games that in every chess player's case it's there, but in my case, I think, can we pull up a game I played against Vishy Anand with white in Vaikanze around 2000, maybe 12-ish.
What was your color?
Let's see. I was white. It was a draw. Can we pull that game up?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just to give an example of, Yeah, maybe 13.
This one, right? This draw.
This one.
This one, right?
Yes. So
Okay, I'll just
this is one of these
hang on.
games.
Let me just get the
Yeah.
position. Yeah. Okay. So from which point
Where
you want
you
me
go through where you go through a phase of learning. So here, look how I played. Let's just see the game. What I did.
Okay. Okay. Seems normal. Okay.
So I was playing attacking chess. You understand?
Right. Right.
But then look what happened in this game.
You can't create anything there, right? I'm just curious. Like
I cannot do anything. I cannot do anything. But then look how sad it
then
became.
it's fine. Okay.
No, I can do absolutely nothing. So he traded everything, and all I had left was my rook on g4.
Which is doing nothing at some point, I guess.
Yeah, but fortunately, I managed to.
Anish, why you cannot take this guy? Just out of curiosity.
I took it later.
Right?
Can we see what?
Yeah, sure. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm sure there are lots of. I mean, there's lots of counterplay there, but I decided not to do that. I took it later somewhere.
Right. Yeah, you took it. Yeah.
Even queen b6. Even queen b6 is possible in such cases. Yeah.
Right. Because...
But let's see just even the way the game went.
Yeah, actually, these pieces are actually not doing anything here anymore, right?
Awful. And also look in the end game. So he traded the queens, and then I am desperately queen b3. I'm desperately trying to bring it all back and make a draw here. And eventually I sort of managed, Right. Yeah, I brought the rook sort of back, and okay, I made the draw.
Yeah,
but this is one of these games where you realize that it's not just knight to f5, rook to g3.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just doesn't work.
I mean, you cannot throw some pieces and scare top players. So
exactly, and I think every young player has a few games like that, from which he eventually learns that all the stuff he learned in his youth about Kasparov and Tal, it's all nice, but it doesn't work in every game, and you need the feeding position. So while I managed to do that against Anton Giharo because of queen was on a6 and bishop on a7, when opponent's position is harmonious, you cannot always throw the kitchen sink at him.
This reminds me,
and that is why,
Go on, please.
And I guess that is why I have less such games. But then again, if I will get the opportunity, I love it. And also, you can see on my stream right now, when I get the positions where I can attack, I'm always happy to do that.
Absolutely.
Or in some of my games in the last online tournaments too. But it's just that you learn. Let's say if I play maybe an international master or a player weaker, and I would play knight to5, rook g3. I imagine he could panic and do something dumb, and I would eventually mate him somewhere. But against Vishy, it didn't work at all. And I remember things he said after the game to me, and the way I sort of understood that I understood, because I was thinking I was sort of told him I thought I had something, but surprisingly there was nothing. And he more or less laughed at me yeah, but what do you want? I mean, I have a knight on e6. You can bring 10 pieces more. You have not even check.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized that, well, maybe not always. Maybe not always.
Yeah, this reminds me of two things. One is that I always felt that the stronger players, the more strong they are, when you give them pressure, they resist at highest level. You cannot crack them by pressure. This, and also, you said that such games teaches you a lot. So I remember once in Gibraltar, we were analyzing, and there were many players. Nigel was there, Shirov was there. And some grandmaster, I don't remember, some young grandmaster said there was some opposite color bishop position where he is worse, and then he's like, no, this should be a draw. I would have hold. And Nigel just said one thing. Nigel said, you are thinking that because you have never played with Karpov. One game with Karpov, you will never say such things again. Talking about
Nigel's always ready to make a witty remark, that's for sure.
By the way, talking about Karpov, when I was going through this particular game, it so much reminded me of Korchnoi Karpov.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I mean, it is quite well known that heavy piece endgame against isolated pawn is just quite dangerous.
Yeah, this is Anish is white and Domingo is from Cuba. He is black. This happened in European Club Cup in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a very for all sorts of audience here, irrespective of the rating and playing strength. I think these kind of positions you can really learn a lot. And when I was going through this game, I thought this is one particular game that I should definitely include. And to get the explanation from Anish would be fantastic. How he thought, because you see, Black has got just only one weakness, and it is defended well. So from a layman's perspective, I would say this can be a draw. But with experience, we know that how difficult it can be. Anish, what are your thoughts on the moves?
Yeah, to be honest, it took me like before I played bishop d3. Yeah, it took me in general quite a bit of, because I got this position from the opening and I knew that I was slightly better in the opening, and then I was trying to find a way to get something out of this.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, I remember it gradually hit me that I can trade the bishops and I can trade even a pair of rooks, but that this isolated pawn is an issue, and it's always an issue like when I double on the d file, like in the game, let's say on move 28. So I double on the d file, and I'm threatening e4.
This is the thing, guys. Now it forces.
And there is no way. Yeah, but once he goes f5, then also the king becomes weak. So then the principle of two weaknesses just works.
How to defend? Like if you were black in this particular position and it's your move, how would you try to defend, Anish?
One thing you always think about is whether d4 works, but it doesn't, I guess, because of queen c4. Well, because if you can do d4 in some way.
Also, what is this? I would imagine this should also be. No, you get on a2. No, you get on a2. You get on a2.
Well, you still get f7, but basically, I think queen c4 is the just the main issue.
Queen c4 just seals it immediately. Yeah, I cannot.
I guess, yeah. So like you can never play d4.
Why I cannot play d5?
Another.
You take. Yeah.
b5.
Yeah, b5.
No, it's interesting. And d3, yeah, for example.
Yeah.
Okay, even here, queen c4. I mean, the thing is, like, I cannot say exactly right now how to defend, but one thing is that, yes, you can consider such things to change the character of the position. Another thing you can consider, let's say around move, for example, around move 28 after queen d4.
Just a quick question, Anish. Is your YouTube on and is it muted?
Yeah.
It is, right? Yeah, okay. They're saying
they're
complaining some echo. Yeah. Where should I go until move 28? Yeah.
Yeah, let's say on move 28, there is it doesn't work here, but there is an idea of going rook c8, give up the pawn and try to hold the rook endgame with rook c2. I mean, okay, here you lose on the spot probably with check and d7, but rook d7 as well. But okay, even that rook a2 is not so clear. Okay, but I mean, conceptually speaking, that's one of the things you can consider to give up the pawn and go to rook endgame.
Also, even such things is not very trivial.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, you can start with a4. Yeah. No, this is not good. I imagine. Can we go back before queen f5?
Sorry. Here. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. If you go h5, I mean then maybe rook d4. Yeah. Yeah, but h5 rook d4, then maybe queen f5 or queen f3, queen f5.
You get your setup. Maybe put it on d1.
Yeah, but maybe look, maybe I get some. Yeah, queen d1 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well. Yes. No. So that is not looking good. It's a difficult position to defend. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And why didn't he play rook d7 after queen c7? Queen c5, b6, queen c7. Why not rook d7?
Okay, so check and e4, I guess. Eh? Oh no.
Queen g.
No, there is queen f3.
Queen
also.
f3, yeah.
There's queen f3 also.
Queen f3, yes. No, I mean I can make any move here. I don't know.
You can just. But he has queen
rook
e6.
d4.
Then e4. Rook.
Rook d4 maybe, yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Rook d4, and idea is just king g2.
Yeah, and at some point e4 will happen. Some point.
Yeah.
Also, I think it's a bit
Yeah, he's tied up.
it's a bit counterintuitive. Yeah, like why to allow this this pin.
Yeah, but I mean, allowing queen e5 looks kind of unpleasant, no?
Right. And okay, let's say you got this concession, like played f5.
Yeah, but now it's already very easy because the f5 is just a huge weakness.
Yeah. Somehow to defend one weakness, black had to create two more.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, those who are interested in this this kind of theme, I highly recommend to see this game Korchonai Karpov, and then you will know exactly what I mean. Maybe some of
Guys, you know, the Abhijit said something which I wanted to mention. I wanted to mention it, but let me just check something and to be sure. 1 second. Abhijit said you can allow e4, ed5. Allow e4, e takes d5, and
put something
then
on
put
d6.
a piece on d6.
Right.
Yes, but let me check something. Why can't I find 1 second?
You can tell me, I can find it if it is just a game.
Yeah, I want to find it first myself before I say nonsense.
Okay,
but
sure,
give me
sure.
just 1 minute.
Sure.
Give me 1 minute. Because I have some kind of funny memory about this, connected to Abhijit as well.
Okay.
Let me check if that's true.
No, this is fascinating, and also to all the players who are watching, I always felt when things are forcing, more or less everybody can manage. You got it?
So it is not from. It is from Isle of Man. Gupta Abhijit against Vidit. He got exactly the position where he's got this extra pawn, which is blocked.
Let me get this. Let me get this game. Why can't I?
But he did convert it. So I'm surprised that he thinks it's a great defensive mechanism.
You are talking about Isle of Man, Gupta, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
right. So
I'll quickly go to that game, the one Anish is mentioning. So we are talking about Gupta versus Vidit here.
Yes, it's a similar thing that he has this blockades this extra d pawn, but it's not so easy. Okay, here it's rook and bishop, but it's not so easy.
Yeah, I remember seeing this game, of course.
Yeah. But it's always a defensive mechanism to give this d pawn like that and try to set up a blockade. That's for sure.
Yeah.
He converted it very nicely. Actually, during the game, I really didn't think that he's going to win it so easily, but he managed to win it very easily.
Yeah.
How did he even? Yeah, I'm quite impressed.
Some kind of zugzwang, yeah. Here,
okay. Yeah,
some kind of zugzwang.
Yeah, he says this concept is with major pieces. Minor pieces it wins easily. No, Abhijit is telling us here the lessons. Yeah, it's true. With rook and queen against rook and queen, it's easy. You know, it is my game against Magnus in the last tournament, Chessable Masters. Where he got this position. Let me send you the link to that.
Adiban is in the chat. Adiban is talking about chess in the chat. Can you believe this?
What happened?
Oh, he's just saying some oh my god VD game.
But yeah, basically, Magnus was also doing that. Sometimes you can do this d4 so yeah, he could have allowed e4 basically, and allowed e takes d5, and then try to defend.
Right. But
instead of f5.
Sorry.
Yeah, but this is like the king is weak. Yeah, instead of f5 to go, I don't know, rook d7. Okay, I don't know, h5 or something. H5, yeah, e4. I don't know, g6, ed queen.
Yeah.
Okay, h5, ed queen d6.
Something like.
I mean, in theory, yeah.
Yeah,
and try to. Okay, ideally, you want to have queen on f6 maybe as well, king on g7, but yeah.
Sure, but it's not very easy to get immediately. But yeah, the game was very nice.
Yeah, also after a4, a5, a7 is also weak. I mean, it's a principle of 20 weaknesses at this point.
Yeah. And now suddenly, the pawns are equal, but black has got just so many weaknesses. And I mean, we are talking about some 27-52 here. Dominguez has got fantastic technique in general, and he's a very strong player. So
Yeah,
outplaying,
he's a very good player.
yeah, it's not like Anish is outplaying someone, like 300 rating points below his rating, or even just a grandmaster. He is outplaying one of the top 10 players. So this was very fascinating. Precision at highest level. Very nice. All right. Principle of 20 weaknesses. That's what you said, Anisha. Vishnu is saying.
Yes, yes. In this case, it works.
What is this? What do I have here? Did I get the position changed? Yeah. A slightly different kind of game here. Can anybody name?
Oh yeah.
Can anybody tell who is white, who is black? Except you, Anish, obviously. This was played in Vacancy 2018. There is usually 20-second lag, so I'll give some time for the audience to recognize the game. It's also very another classy game. Atiban, you are even saying correct game for the first time ever, yeah?
I think it's maybe. Are you sure it's the right Adiban? Maybe it's
No, it's right.
different Adiban.
No, it's right, Atiban.
Right Adiban, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, so I do one thing, like when I'm making anyone moderator, I have some sort of personal question to make sure they are not fake. So all of them are real.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I do the same nowadays.
Yeah, because
As you
otherwise
know.
it gets very annoying. Yeah, what you did was fantastic also. Yeah. So yeah, Mamederov is black, who is 2800 plus rated player, at least in 2018 he was, and Anish was white. And Anish goes, so like with all these top players, okay, I'm talking to the audience now, like with all these top players, uh, they know when to break the principle. So the following two moves which Anish played here, it's quite instructive. Like we have learned the so-called, like isolated pawn must be blocked with knight and so on. Anish next two moves are, I'll make the move and then I'll ask Anish to explain. Anish, please explain these two moves.
But there was some. I don't remember who it was. I guess. But there was someone who said isolated pawn must be blockaded, yeah, by the knight or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But there was also some guy. Was it Larson or something?
That
I
is
think
Larson.
maybe it might have been Larson.
Larson said that isolated pawn must be. It should not be blocked. It should
Attacked
be
and captured.
taken, attacked and captured. Yeah, this is Larson.
Yeah, so I mean, depending on the position here, it's the role of Larson, attacked and captured. So I just attack the e5 pawn and capture it.
Yeah, by the way, this is a nice trick to know.
Also, g4 was particularly nice because he played his last move was bishop c8 to f5.
Correct.
And after g4, he has to go exactly back. So it feels kind of good.
Sure. And tremendous domination here. I mean, guys, I would love to go through the whole games in general, but there is simply not enough time to do it. And this also I kind of like. You don't even want to take the pawn immediately.
Yeah, 94 is very strong, yeah.
And okay, Mamederov is also known for resigning a bit too early, but in this case, nobody can blame him.
Actually, in this particular case, I was also surprised. Mm-hmm. But when I thought about this position longer, and then when I also looked with the computer and so on, he's absolutely lost, actually.
Yeah, I think I remember it gave like +3 or something. Yeah.
Yeah, it's and growing. It's just huge.
Yeah.
Surprisingly.
No, because this king is tremendously weak. I mean, what to do? There is no counter.
Everything weak, and he doesn't have single counterplay and nothing to attack, and king h2 and rook g1 and all that.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Tremendous. All right, let's see what I have next. Shall we do this game?
Yeah, we can do this one briefly. Yeah. This was actually this was preparation. It was Erwin.
Yeah. Bishop.
Erwin told me that all the way till move like 16 or something.
Yeah. Bishop d2 was new back then. Actually, I also played a very crucial game in where was it? In Belt and Road against Cheparinov. Cheparinov played this Hikaru's idea b6, not c5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So all this was your preparation, right?
Yeah, it was everyone's idea. This all 94, 95. It was. I knew all that. Yeah.
Knight b5 is
I
kind
think
of nice.
till here. I mean, I don't know if it was this particular position, but knight b5 idea was one of the things. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, knight on d6 is very strong now. It's
Yeah,
free attack.
Yeah, this is just killing. Yeah, this was tremendous. Anish, I would love to go on with some more games if you have time, but it will be completely your call. I mean, I'll show you what all I have right now. So these are the games left. So it will be your call if you want to pick. If you have time, I would absolutely love, and I guess I mean I'm confident that my audience would also love, but it all depends on your time.
Yeah, we can look at the game with Ding maybe, and
Okay,
that would be a good way to.
all
A
right.
good way to. Yeah, because Ding, especially, after he lost that game, he didn't lose for over 100 games anymore. It
Seriously.
was
So this was that
yes,
very game, yeah.
yeah.
This happened in August 2007. Anish bet Ding, and then after that he did not.
2017, yeah.
2017,
For a year, yeah.
and then for like next 100 games, Ding did not lose a game. By the way, and during
Yeah,
this 100 game, he also had some injury in his back. Even he played the Olympiad with crutch and everything, but he showed tremendous tenacity and he never lost a game. And then I think who
yeah.
bet
He
him?
had some kind
Was
of
it?
hip injury, yeah.
Yeah. Who bet
Sorry.
him? Who bet him? Vasher, yeah, or I forgot who bet him.
Yeah, then Maxim
Bet him.
beat him also in no, in Shenzhen tournament.
Right. So yeah, how did you approach this position as black? I'll flip the
Well, yeah,
board.
the
Yeah.
thing is here, so far I felt like I was slightly outplaying him because he obviously has very passive pieces at the moment and lots of weaknesses on the king side. He's got these soft pawns everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is that it appears as though I more or less don't have a way forward. Yeah, so I took a lot of time thinking. I mean, I can also, of course, always switch to, I don't know, like doubling on d file and trading everything, and then just going for
This is an
sort
interest.
of a
Yeah, this is an interest.
equality.
This is an interesting thing. Yeah, like which file you want to double, D file or F file?
Yeah, no, but let's say on d file that's not very. So, but then I decided that after some thought, I realized that I can triple on the f file, and then I have some ideas with, for example, g5 and so on. So I decided to go all in for the attack here because it felt right, and it worked out very nicely.
So now you're going for the pawn and fixing all his pieces.
Yeah, queen d1 is a huge mistake, but it's actually very logical. He wants to go rook d8 and all, rook d7 and all that. But I have very strong idea.
But queen j2 also
he missed,
g5.
obviously. Yeah, no, then I wanted to go g5, but he obviously missed. I think he was counting on g5, but he missed this rook g6, queen f6, knight g3, I think.
What is rook g8? So the point is, if rook d8, you want to take knight g3. This is the idea, right?
Yeah, this idea that he probably missed, yeah.
And it is still not clear. Actually,
no, it is h5 and
it's very slow way, but very effective.
Yeah, he cannot unpin.
He cannot unpin himself. Yeah. Yeah, this is a very nice motive actually. Suddenly, actually, in the starting position, it didn't feel like there will be a shot on these 2 pawns. It didn't feel like that.
Yeah, but in a way, I sort of put all my forces on the king side, and then something popped up. That was nice.
Yeah, so you stop rook d8, and okay, he's still holding it.
He tries, yeah, but I mean, eventually I do sacrifice rook or a knight on g3.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is very, very pretty. I mean, this knight on f4 is very nice.
Rook g3, this is beautiful. And if this, yeah, then just mate.
Yeah, just queen f6 is mate, yeah.
So you must go here. Now you're full rook down, but his rooks are just doing nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, he's highly uncoordinated and he cannot meet rook f6, rook g6 at all.
Yeah. I mean, all he needs is to just throw this pawn somewhere. If this pawn is not there, he will be able to defend.
Yeah, no, his knight on g3 is sort of separated from the heavy pieces. Yeah.
Why did he do this? Just curious. Like why?
It doesn't matter. I think it doesn't matter. It's the same.
Yeah.
He was hoping for some rook h2 somewhere here, somewhere, but it doesn't really matter.
Ah, okay, okay. What are you threatening now? You're threatening queen h3, h4, basically, right? And also take. You also have this idea.
Yes, both. Yes. I mean, probably queen h3 is. No, but the thing is, no. But queen h3 is not a threat because queen h3 he has rook h2.
Well, rook h2 he could play even now, yeah, which is what he played.
No, but then I take with the rook and go queen g5.
True. Very true. So I think your threat is to take and then just put the queen here and then play.
No, but isn't it Zugzwang actually? I think that's the thing. It's a Zugzwang, I think.
You're kidding. Right. So.
And
okay, I play b4. Let's say.
Yeah, no, I see. No, it's not only Zugzwang. I do threaten knight g2 and queen f4.
Yeah. You just take and somewhere g5, f4, anywhere. I think.
Yeah. I do have that threat. Yeah, correct.
Rook h2.
Yeah, now I mean for the exchange, I mean this is huge. Yeah, the rook on e3 is completely dominated by the knight. Yeah, now knight f4, pawn h3 is just a huge combo.
Yeah. No, and just nobody moves.
Mm-hmm.
As position is so dominating, you're even willing to go.
No, even just because I'm just going with king h6 and g5, g4, g3 is just over.
Absolutely. Tremendous. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think that will be the chess part. I just see in the chat there is one question from Ashwin Subramaniam. He says, "Hi Surya, we heard Anand's and Levon's opinion on YouTube on use of biofeedback during top level chess games. Would love to hear Anish's opinion on this as well. To use biofeedback.
Biofeedback means heart rate and eye movement and all that, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as long as technology permits that and it's not very difficult and complicated, I mean, any extra information for the audience should be good, no? Should be good. I think some players were hesitant to show their how nervous they get, for example.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess it's. I think also until recently it was not so easy because there were some issues with implementation. Yeah, I mean sometimes it's you move a bit and then the band moves away and then it's not very accurate.
I have never played, so I don't have any idea. I have never played with any kind of bands so far.
Yeah, I don't know. I think especially in fast control games there is a lot of feedback, and potentially indeed with eye movement you can have lots of cool stuff potentially that you track players' eye movement. Yeah,
eye movement.
But I'm not sure that. Yeah, but I mean, I'm not sure the technology is yet there, and it's probably there, but I'm not sure it's available, easily available to show. But of course, potentially, if you have the eye movement set up very nicely, and the viewer sees nicely visually, yeah, in terms of where the eyes go, in terms of like you can show with color, maybe like red, green, like this,
right?
Like the ones that are showing the temperature, showing the eye movements and the areas that you are watching and seeing. That could potentially be very interesting, but I don't know yet how accessible that technology is. And yeah, so far it hasn't been implemented too much. Although in Isle of Man they did track the
heart rate. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so it could be interesting. I am not sure though it is that revolutionary in a sense that, well, if you don't like chess, are you going to watch just to see the heart rate? At the same time, if you do like chess, are you not going to watch because the heart rate is absent? So I'm not sure it's a game-changing thing, but it's certainly nice.
Right. One question from Rushi Shah. This I have been asked number of times. Like, what are your views on calculation, candidate moves, elimination? How do you evaluate and take decisions? What works for you? So I think many people are a little bit confused, like how much to calculate, and sometimes they're unable to calculate when to stop, how to develop these things, where to find the balance between, like calculation and evaluation.
Well, the thing about chess calculation is that if you do not have understanding of what you are aiming for, and that is mostly the case with players of a lower level, you can calculate sort of all you want, but you will be calculating the wrong move. So let's say you will think, I will do this, he will do that, but you will estimate the wrong reply. And you cannot calculate all of it because the tree grows exponentially huge. So 3 moves deep, you are already in the numbers that you would have to calculate for a year of all the options. But yes, in terms of calculation, it's essential to, and in terms of candidates' moves, it's essential to have them right. I mean, and that only comes with some understanding. That's one. And in terms of candidate moves and how top players use them, I think most top players don't use candidate moves. They just chaotically go from one variation to the other.
Exactly.
That said, in particular, in end games or in positions where there feels like there is, for example, one defense, but you don't see it, and let's say you are a rook up and you need to defend from a checkmate.
Okay.
And there is a clear threat of checkmate.
Okay.
Then you can sometimes solve it by elimination, and it's also what I do very often in studies. If I cannot solve a study by my usual chaotic way of calculating, then at some point I go with elimination, because elimination it's slow, boring, but it is slow and boring and hard, but it will work for sure. Yes. So if you try every single move with every piece, like very often you can eliminate quickly. You can say, okay, every knight move allows mate in 1, so that's gone. Queen move allows mate in 1, is gone. So you have only 2 pieces that can move. Right. The king can move here or here, and the rook can move here, 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 or here.
I mean,
and then you can
very quickly we can just tell the same about something like this position. This is the perfect way.
Yeah, you can do that. You can do that with indeed elimination. You can say that white cannot play with the queen because g3 falls, or queen f2, knight h3. White cannot play with the e3 rook because rook d3. I take rook e2. I take on g3. White cannot play with white can play with the king. Or white can play with the b or c pawn.
What happens for king f1? But then you take, so basically this is the thing you have to calculate, basically. That the king and
then you can say that, well, regardless of the king on pawn's move, you will take on g2, king g2, and then you go queen f4, and then after queen f4, if his rook moves, you go h4, if his queen moves, you go h4. So his only move, let's say b3, knight g2, king g2, queen f4.
Now again,
his only move is to go king h3, otherwise you go h4, let's say. And after king h3, you go rook g3, queen e3, and you're winning. So, I mean, this position, it's very simple to calculate it also by means of elimination.
Yeah, this was
if you want.
Yeah.
If you want. And sometimes I do it when I have a lot of time, or if it's my, here, for example, I had a lot of time probably if my opponent has a lot of time and I'm thinking on his move, sometimes I do the elimination thing. But if you do that early in the middle game, it will not work, and it's not necessary also.